know the vibes. She like, ooh la la, they go, ooh la la, she like, ooh la la, we go, ooh la la, on a Monday, best day, blessed day. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is like, where you been? Because over here on this side, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes when the people don't be acting flaky. Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you run off the page and slide to the left, slide to the right, I'm going to need you to hit that like button. I'm going to need you to smash that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking. But you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. We in the end game because it's Monday. Nigga made it through the weekend. Yay, yay. Yeah, kid, we still on the books after the Super Bowl weekend. And it's also Monday. Monday motivation, motivational Monday. I am your motivational speaker, whether you like it or not. And here goes some motivation for your ass. Get off your ass if you plan to be rich. But no, just get off your ass if you plan to make something of yourself. It don't even got to be trying to be rich. That's a Tupac reference. Rest in peace, Pac, right? Get off your ass, get out and go do something. Go get it. Don't wait for nobody to hand you nothing. Don't wait for no pie to fall out the sky. You can have faith and you can pray, but you're still going to have to work. Because you want that Dunkin' Donuts, don't you? You want to motherfucking be stylish and all that, right? Yeah, you're going to have to work for that. Ain't nobody going to give you nothing. So you might as well get that out the way right now. Recognize that. Understand that. That is your reality, especially if you're a man. Especially if you're a man. Right, especially if you're a man. You can't throw the lipstick and lip gloss and makeup and all that, the wigs and shit, and go switch up on them and think, you know what I mean, some dude gonna look out for you. You gotta get it how you get it. That's side note. Happy Monday, though. Happy to be here. Got a nice little show. Couple of little topics, not mad topics, but enough for us to come on here, all right? And y'all know normally I do my show on Friday night, but I work late Friday night, so it's kind of hard to get home, get ready, and, you know, do all that. So we gonna rock with the Monday for now. Even though I did do a show Saturday because I got off early enough. All right, so what's trending in the news? Y'all know where we about to go. We talk sports, hip-hop, entertainment, and things of that nature on this channel. So yesterday was the Super Bowl. First, I was wrong with my prediction. And I was kind of saying it, even though I didn't act on it. Y'all know I think this shit is scripted and rigged. You know what I'm saying? Epstein files done prove that. You know what I mean? A couple of other things done prove that. But for the people that really need the proof, you know what I mean? 2010, I think that's when, Hurricane Katrina. And basically he was like, yo, don't worry. Saints gonna win the Super Bowl. And that text was sent by like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Game don't start till like 6:30. That's a side note though. Tiff, what's the word, right? Anyway, I was wrong about the prediction, but I was on to them in this sense. First, you deny Bill Belichick, first-time Hall of Famer. Definitely should be no questions about whether he was Hall of Famer. We covered this already. Then Robert Kraft, as the owner, should be a first-time valid Hall of Famer, just like Brady when his time comes. But I think he'll just get in because if you use precedent for them, we'll all be looking like, come on, bro. Anyway, I said some shit happened in three. So one, no Robert Kraft, no Bill Belichick. What else next can happen? The Patriots get, they lose in the Super Bowl. I didn't think they would lose with the 4.5. Thought it would be a little closer than what it was. And as far as the game, before we get to what everybody's talking about, because people not even talking about the game. That's crazy. Running back, Kenneth Walker III, salute to him, you know what I mean? Winning MVP, right? Running back, having done that since Terrell Davis with the Broncos and John Elway when they went back to back, right? So salute to him. They all in Disney World and shit right now. But the game was kind of boring. It was boring. We knew it was going to be a defensive game. We knew Seattle, as far as the teams that was left, was the best, ranking defense, even though I think Denver had a better defense, right? And obviously Houston to be looking like, well, we had a great defense this year too. We done had records this year. And, it was just a boring game. No touchdown until the third quarter, field goal. And it's like, oh, this is one of those games. And when the last time New England was there, I believe, is when they played the Rams, and it was 13-6, 13-3 or some shit like that. Thought it was going to go over because the total was 48 or some shit like that. Anyway, the game was boring. Shout out to the touchdown Seahawks, right? I love how the announcer says that. Whatever announcer that is out there with the 12th man. Touchdown Seahawks, right? And they won the Super Bowl, and salutes to them. You know what I mean? Sam Darnold get drafted by the New York Jets, get bumped out there to Carolina, then you go to the Minnesota, then you end up on Seattle, and you end up winning motherfucking Super Bowl. Your wrist bling bling, my shit bling blah. Like he got the pinky ring now. You know what I mean? Salute to them. Now let's get to what everybody's talking about. The halftime show. Let's rewind real quick though, so I could set the table. When it was first announced that Bad Bunny, you know what I'm saying, was going to be doing the Super Bowl, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to watch it. Not because I thought it would be in all Espanol. No hablo español. You're speaking in English? You're speaking in English, right? Not because I thought it was going to be that, and it turned out to be that. I don't think none of us seen that coming on some motherfucking Quicksilver. You didn't see that coming? You didn't see that coming, America? Coming to America, right? You didn't see that coming, did you? I was more like a lot of men, and as you see the videos spin around, there's a few narratives trying to be spun that's spinning in the clip, and one of them is we hating on the Latino community, we down with the Republicans. I'm none of that. I definitely don't hate on the community, and I'm definitely not a Republican. Homophobe and all this shit, and there's a few moving parts, and we'll address the first one. Well, I was like, I ain't gonna watch, right? Even though I did watch the game, and I had money on the game. And I lost. Right? Even though I did hit my play of the day with the Miami Heat yesterday, right? Anyway, over the Washington Wizards. Anyway, I was like, the demonicness, the symbolism, the all-seeing eye, the new world, you know what I mean? And all this shit. The wearing of the dresses 50-11 times and all that, and just doing weird behavior for a man, right? And I get it. He's special because I'm special. Gorilla, right? You special. He might be a little touched, literally, right? And that's cool because that's his business. But I'm like a lot of straight guys, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a guy in a dress. I don't want to see fluky, funny style behavior. I don't want to see that, right? Even for a little second. Because I seen one video somebody had put in there, the dudes dancing on each other and all that. I don't want to see that shit. And then another commenter was like, yeah, but it only was for 2 seconds. And the guy who video was, answering him back like, yeah, well, even that's too much for me. I don't want to see that. Riri, what's the word on the check-in, right? And as far as that, again, people could do what they want. They can live their own life. Obviously, we all can. We all going to. Ain't nobody going to tell us that we can't, right? Unless you're breaking the law. And that's that. We could argue with it. We could disagree. But we can disagree. That's the only thing why I don't understand is why people be mad that ride those trains and, they in those alternate, universes. If people don't rock with it, why be mad at them? They don't have to rock with it. They're not saying they should be disrespectful, that they should be going out of their way to make you feel uncomfortable, but they don't have to rock with it. And that's cool. Both things can be cool at the same time. Anyway, I think that's a large part of it. Not so much the Latinos and, not speaking no English and me speaking no English and no hablo español, right? And poquito and all that. I'm being funny, but I'm not. Besides that part, and I get it, it was a lot of symbolism, fight the power to the people. And I thought this shit was Black History Month. Like, oh, what happened to that? Like, oh, I mean, I don't even celebrate that. But I thought it was Black History Month. But y'all know if you watch my show, I'm siding and riding with Morgan Freeman. And Black History was that. Not to say that I don't acknowledge, recognize, honor those ancestors that came before, especially the ones that represented to the fullest. Not the scumbags and the pieces of shit. Got them in all races and ethnicities. Let's be clear. Especially the ones that rep. You could do that in your everyday life if that's how you live it. Especially if you really on it like that, right? And I'm not saying that I am. But it'd be a lot of people that be toting that line, fight the power and black and I'm proud and all that. And then they got to wait till Black History Month for them to start remembering and teaching and learning and shit like that. And the same thing with all of the holidays. I'm like, well, why do I got to wait for Mother's Day again to tell my mother I love her? Why do I got to wait for Valentine's Day to fuck my girl from the back and do shit from the ceiling? Why do I got to wait for that, give flowers and all that? I don't, right? Right. So I don't let that dictate that either. But that's a side note, right? Because it is Black History Month and it's Christmas time. What you mean he can't have Christmas? It's Christmas time. I just think most men, especially straight American, even though it's a lot of people in those other alternate universes, and again, that's fine. They probably thought he was going to be bringing that, and so it was like, why would I want to watch that? Nobody's forcing me to watch it. Not like you in the movie and you watching the Power series or whatever where they keep pushing every episode and you're like, I was trying to come watch. You go into the movies, you pay your $1. This shit free and it's a click off, click on. You don't got to watch. You can watch the game, then you could do like a lot of people did and they said they didn't watch, right? Now let's address, the Latino part, right? And the symbolism. And I've seen a lot of symbolism, and some stuff I didn't know, you know what I mean, right? I'm not a fan of his. Don't really, know none of his music besides, I think he is on a song with Cardi B, I Like It Like That. And I do like that song. I think it's a fire song, right? The part he's saying, I don't know what he's saying, but I know her lyrics, right? And I like the song. I dance to it, I like it like that, right? Don't speak no Spanish. And most Americans don't. And I've been to Mexico 2 times. Had mad fun in Mexico. You know what I mean? Los Cabos and Cancun, right? And we had a blast out there both times. When I went out there, I didn't have no expectations of people speaking English. I know some people do. They bilingual. But places that I went up to and I'm like, speaking English? And some of them like, yeah. Some of them was like, no, they don't understand. You can't be mad at them when you're in their country like, nah, you're supposed to speak English. Here, you hear a lot of Americans now, whether that's entitlement or not, because you could say, yo, they come into our country, they got to learn our language. We don't have to learn their language because we predominant speak English here. And, if you step away a little bit and not make it, too harsh and say, it's nothing wrong with us all learning and learning from one another, taking from different cultures, the good from all and sharing, etc. Because that's what the Most High say in the good book. I created nations and different people so that you can get to know one another and not despise one another. So that's from the Creator, whether you believe that or not. So it's cool to say, I'm going to learn Spanish. I know I got Spanish neighbors, grew up with nothing but motherfucking Spanish people and black people in the neighborhood that I come from. And I already told a story about Carlos and Hector, two Spanish, guys boys at that time. We was kids. We wasn't even really adolescents. and they came to live in my building. They was homeless, moms left or whatever. And we used to hang with them all the time. And all of a sudden they just disappeared. Maybe ICE got them. I don't know. I'm being funny, but I'm not. And I was sad when they wasn't around no more, because these are my friends. Every day we, hanging out and doing mischievous shit. Anyway, so we ain't coming from some race shit. And, you hear people all say all the time, whether it's true or not, you can have biasness and prejudices against other ethnicities, but they say black people can't be racist, right? We the only people with a group and ethnicity that get hated on the most, but we love and accept everybody. So I don't think it was that. I think it was like most people don't speak English, so it was like, all right, I'm rocking to the beat, but not really, because I don't know what you're saying. And we know music is rhythm and it's, connection. It speaks to you. So if you can't relate to it, it's not going to be no movement. Now, you can move to the beat if you don't, you could, for instance, a lot of Jamaican, and that's English, but with the accents and the ting and the twine and all that, I don't be knowing half of the shit Jamaican artists sing. But if I'm in the club, I'm like, bubbling, 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 baby. I'm a party animal. And I thought he was saying you're a wild animal. So Keisha had to say, babe, why you keep saying that? I'm like, you're a party animal. I'm like, you're a wild animal. And she's like, that's not what he's saying. I'm like, nah, he's saying wild animal. She's like, no, he's saying party animal. See? Still speaking English, but didn't know. But in the club, if I'm bubbling, then yeah, I can rock with it because it's move, it's rhythm. I got a shorty with me, we dancing, we having fun. But if you just saying, yo, at my own house, if I'm driving in the car, I'm not going to put that on. Not that I don't like the music. I have plenty of tingling, and Shabba Ranks, and I can name you some artists and some songs, but that's not my go-to because it doesn't really resonate with me in the club, certain areas. If I know I'm going to a place where it's a lot of West Indians or Jamaicans and this they vibe, then yeah, I'm going to rock with it, but that's not my prefer. So I can understand why people saying, damn, it's boring. One, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. See, you lose symbolism, but everything ain't political. That's another thing. Oh, it's a message about love. And, I've seen a lot of, people in our height and our condition now as the American public people, and a lot of them are celebrities. And we spoke about this Saturday and the last live before that. And I'll just reiterate a little bit. Not saying you can't use your platform. I use mine. We all have that right. We have freedom of speech and all that shit. We in America where you can speak out against the government. You could be all right with that in certain instances. Then you go to Russia, you go to China, certain places, and you speak out against the government and you in the fucking shithole in Jamaica somewhere. And you like, damn, I don't even got no bed. I don't got no money to eat. And no, my family is not here, so I'm going to starve to death. I got to eat roaches and fucking cockroaches. I'm being extreme. But I was watching some of the worst prisons in America, or in the country rather. And that shit that was in the Spanish place over there with Jamaica too. It was somewhere close where it was like Spanish and Jamaican people in there. It just was like the conditions was fucking deplorable and horrible. I'm like, damn, everybody had lice, everybody's skin was bitten up, and they all had to sleep like what people do after they have sex? Cuddle. They had to sleep in the cuddle position. Not put your hand over, but still laying on your side and nut the ass and all that, your dick to his butt and all that. Then every so often, the person say, yo, switch on some more. I'm not even making this shit up. Go Google this shit. Dead ass serious. We was watching, Keisha was showing me on YouTube. The dude say switch, then it's so tight in there because it's overpacked. They all got to turn to the other side. And I said, what type of crazy? Make you never want to do a crime. Like ever, if that's going to be your conditions. But that's side note. Here we can say what we want. We can get on the microphone. We can open up YouTube. Yo, fuck Donald Trump. Fuck President Obama. Woo, woo, woo. And nobody really going to come knock on your door and get you. Yet, I'm talking all this unity and this message and messaging, etc. But what was the real message? And again, back to the celebrities outside of the Super Bowl. I don't know what he do in his personal life because I'm not a big fan of this. I'm not a fan at all. He could be sending all his money back to Puerto Rico, right? Or helping the indigenous people, etc. But what if he's not? And somebody, if you know, like, yo, he got these organizations, then drop it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to shout him out and say, yo, he doing X, Y, Z for the people. But when you see all these celebrities sleeping on these Gucci satin sheets, they got butlers and maids. They got the best masseuses, the best fucking cooks. All things you could think of. They flying they barber out 400 miles, you know what I mean? 700 miles all the way to Vegas just to get a haircut because they don't want to fuck with the locals. You think they putting it all on the line? And they going to fight the power and revolution and make your life better? Just asking the question. Because obviously you know my answer is emphatically hell fucking no. Bad Bunny ain't coming to save you. No matter what type of messages he put out to rile you up, is he going to be in the front lines with you? Is he putting all his money into things to make the regular people that he's fighting for lives better? And I ain't shitting on him, I'm just saying. It's him and it's everybody else. Everybody else that's not doing it. Or getting online when they get on the red carpet by, assalamu alaikum, getting on the red carpet and, yeah, because the shit that Donald Trump, and I'm not a supporter, I'm not a voter. I can give a fuck about the president. You know what I mean? And the last one, and the one coming after him. Because it's all one government to me. So you're not going to get strictly Republican. I got to keep saying that for the people that may be new to my channel. I'm neutral. I'm for right is right, wrong is wrong, and that's that. Simple. It's very simple. And I can say, oh, no, they was right this time. They was wrong this time. Or vice versa. But when you get the people that's so far on their political side, can't never say, nah, that was all the way wrong what Jasmine Crockett did. Or that was all the way wrong with, whoever's a Republican. I don't even know their fucking name. That was all the way wrong. It's always going to be a technicality. And that should show you that they full of shit. All of them. Never going to call each other out. Never. If it do, it got to be some real egregious shit on a human level where everybody looking like, bro, sis, I don't care if you with that party. You really not going to say nothing? We all see the proof on our eyes and you're not going to say nothing? Then it's like, oh, fuck. But as far as the halftime show, was it the best around? Some people I hear them saying. I don't think that. I watched it even though months ago, I said I wasn't. Already the game was on. I'm like, fuck it, let me see what this, let me see. You know what I mean? And he brought out, what's the girl name? Lady Gaga. She sung in English. Ricky Martin, you know what I mean? What the fuck he saying? Ricky Martin, one of his songs. Living the Vida Loca. Which I like that song, right? She will turn you out. Living the Vida Loca. Upside, inside out. Like, I see, I quote some Spanish shit. I like Ricky. I like that song. It's probably only one song that I'd be hard pressed if I had to get $1 million and say another one of his songs. I probably wouldn't win. Or if they say, yo, we gonna pop you in the back of the head, name another Ricky Martin song, I'm gonna be dead because I can't name one. The bottom line is, a lot of people, it's not hate. That's the narrative. It's the last thing. That's the narrative that they're trying to spin. If you didn't like it, you don't need to speak Spanish to learn the message. I seen some people said the little boy was the ice boy. Some was like that was an actor, was really him in the future self. So we all just speculated. Some stuff, obviously the cable boxes and the utility poles, the power being out, duh, that's kind of easy. The fields and all that, the sugarcane fields and colonialism and people, ruling over another, which damn near every race done it. Some just did it worse and fouler than others. Be hard pressed to find any people that didn't have slaves or owned or did some foul shit to people. And that's why I often quote Mike Tyson from his podcast when he's like, yo, anything that you could think of, anything that you can imagine a human being done to another human being somewhere in this earth. And I think that's a powerful statement. Just think about that. Think about all the horror movies, all the torture movies, people doing foul shit. He's like, yo, anything that you could think of or imagine, some human or race did that to their own or somebody else. They did that to them. Knocked their teeth out with a hammer, like we seen in The Birth of a Nation. That was horrible. You know how sensitive your teeth is? And you get a little crack or any little, you try to suck air in through the hole, that shit hurt like a motherfucker. Imagine somebody motherfucking taking a hammer and a tool and knocking your motherfucking teeth out. That's crazy. Chopping your finger off, doing you filthy. Anything you could think of, that's probably been done to another human being, which is foul. But it don't mean we haters and we hate our Spanish brethren. It don't mean it at all. It just mean, one, we wasn't with the Illuminati and all that symbolism. We wasn't with the gay bullshit. And we wanted to see something that we can understand and we can rock with. I don't think there was nothing wrong with that. Don't mean we ain't for love. Don't mean we ain't for being righteous and, wanting to see the people of America get what they deserve. It doesn't mean none of that. So when y'all spin these narratives, it's like, that shit bullshit. Let's talk about this, though. This coming out of the motherfucking, this is coming out of the news cycle, which is crazy. Cardi B and Steph Diggs, right? Stephon Diggs, who lost the Super Bowl, who just had a baby by her, so that's his baby mama, and she's his baby daddy. Who that is, that's just my baby daddy. Who that is, my baby daddy. Who that is, my baby daddy. That's just my baby daddy. And we got some shit going on right now. And I'm talking about it. And I'm talking about it in this sense. Stephon Diggs' son spends game day front and center with his mother cheering his dad on at the Super Bowl. And this is why they say, I guess, Cardi B. And this is I'm going to talk about it. You'll see why. It's not just to be talking about them gossip shit, but I am going to bring some shit to the light. So this, I guess, his other baby moms. Y'all know he got 1,000,005 baby mothers. You know what I'm saying? She was there with their newborn son, just like his newborn son from Cardi B. Or do they got a son or a daughter? I don't know. Right? And where's the other clip at? She mad. She's hella mad. Is this it?
I know I could.
Hold on, let me see.
I know I could.
Guess they unfollowed each other, right? That's got everybody talking. They unfollowed each other. They asked her,
Let's go to the Super Bowl! Let's go!
A few moments later.
Inspiring message for Stefan before the game. One inspired message for him.
Good luck.
A few inches later. 12 seconds later.
Reigns above them all in the NFL. The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions for the second time.
So I guess they unfollowed each other, right? And before I get into my spin on it, obviously everybody's talking about it. One, they just was so happily in love. Just and why, Jay, what's the word? They just was mad in love. And my boyfriend, Stephon Diggs. Can't even make this shit up, but we love her accent and all that, right? When she was sitting with Gail, yes, I'm pregnant by my boyfriend, Stephon Diggs, right? And I'm just making fun. I'm not happy that they, she's going to be going through it, but it is a lesson for the ladies, right? Like, where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? I know a few of these posters I've seen, the guy's trolling, but the internet is unreal, you know what I mean? But you can learn some things if you're wise from the internet, right? So now that they unfollow each other, and this is the last one. Now not only did they not unfollow each other, but now they got words for each other. And this is the words right here. So sometimes I even touch myself. Let me mute that so they don't fuck my live up. So Cardi B, she like, you're a disgrace to the NFL. You're a disgrace to the game. I think he had like 2 catches for 37 yards and some shit like that. Harlem Purple, what's the word? And then he like, you're a disgrace to music. So why are we talking about this besides just because it's spinning? Obviously, we want to be in the algorithm. Everybody's talking about it. But this is why I want to talk about it. And this is the angle I'm going to come at it from. Somebody in the comments was like, ladies, what can we learn from this, right? And somebody, how the ladies, and obviously the running joke online is, women is allergic to accountability, and that's like kryptonite. And some women is like that, not all. We ain't going to put them all under a blanket, but we know that to be true. I know that to be true, so I'm not going to argue. But not all women, just like every shoe don't fit for shit that, that said about men, vice versa. But under the comment, under the dude that said that, a lot of women was like, yeah, we need to mind our motherfucking business. And, it was, some people was like, yeah, you don't, that's why you don't be too loud with your new boyfriend. And people was dropping little things on it. And this is what I learned. I'm not a woman, right? This is what I would tell my little cousins and them. This is what I tell my little nieces and them, the females, right? Men gonna be men. That's number one. That's why you gotta choose wisely. But number two is you can't ignore the red flags. Even without the women in his life, and we know he got 2 or 3, 50, 111 baby mothers, and I'm being funny. But when the video comes out, right, this is the first thing I said when I seen that they was dealing with each other, because all the women was clapping, she glowing down, a lot of gullible, goofy women, right? It is what it is. Not all of them, but some. And you could just look in the comments to see who you think I'm talking about. But I'm like, damn, all right, I fuck with Cardi B. I like her music, you know what I mean? I like, you know, she won. She her authentic self, so you gotta love people that's that. I'm that, right? But I'm like, damn, she didn't see the video of all his teammates when he was on the Minnesota Vikings? And almost like when it first broke, right? I guess they've been dating, but when it was public, a lot of men were saying, I guess they ain't see the video. Guess they ain't see him as a teammate. And it was funny at first, because some women was like, well, what y'all talking about? What we're talking about is that when the fucking reporter was in the locker room and they asked damn near every single player, mind you, it's all men, bravado, muscles, strong, can lift, you know, braggadocious, ego-ass dudes, right? So they all busting cheeks now. They're not all Russell Wilsons, and they ain't hung, falling asleep with the Bible, not looking at no other women. Some of them is cheating and doing the most. But you know what they all said when the reporter asked them? Who is the one person in this room that you would not want to date your sister? And they all pointed the finger while he was in there and said, Kareem Akbar. He is the true leader of the C&B, and if I'm going down, then I'm taking all you niggas with me. That's a Wesley Snipes reference from New Jack City, by the way. And I said, oh, shit, like the meme. The nigga from The Wire, that meme? I said, oh, shit. They threw that nigga under the bus, then rolled over him, then rolled back over him, then rolled over him. Ladies, if you see anything remotely like that, then you run for your fucking life. Like Kanye West said, run for your life. You don't run to, you run away, run away. They say, yo, we never wanted to date my sister. And you got to say that they all players and be in the club doing the same shit, but there was something different about him. It had to be. For all the other football players to say, so why am I bringing this up? One, you was still married. Now, if it's over, it's over. Because I was once married, and I filed for divorce, and it was over. So you don't got to wait till the papers ink dry, you know, for the papoose and the Remy. Oh, he's still married. When people is over, they over, folks. That's just what it is. The court just binds you. But once the connection is gone, yes, you can be legally on paper still, you know, tied at the hip. But heart, mind, and spirit, you're not. So none of that shit matters. That's why it don't matter in the beginning anyway. It matters if you die, you know, medical proxy, who going to get your pension, who going to get your assets. But it's, you know, that's why it matters. So that's why you need it if you're going to be rocking out with a person. But as far as love and connection is, that's just a piece of paper. If you don't got it before the marriage, you ain't going to have it after the paper. I mean, if you don't have it before you sign the papers, you ain't going to get it after the papers. Just like, you know, nothing's going to happen when you sign the papers. But with that being said, it's like you still was married. You still was going through some shit. It wasn't a good look because it wasn't like it was a totally different guy. You got a feeling, you got an urge. And this is why I was telling the young people in my group, right? I work with kids, you know, out my 5 days, 3 of the days that I go to work, we with kids, 14 to 25, and 25 ain't a kid, but you get the point that I'm making in that age range. Back in the days, right, when women were still wearing long dresses and it wasn't as scantily and loosely as it is now. When you wanted to be with a young woman, right, you had to meet their parents. Father had to give you that talk. Nigga had the shotgun behind the door. They always ask you, like, well, what's your intentions with my daughter? Well, why do you want to be, why are you professing your love? Are you just trying to hit and run? And why was we doing that? And do you think relationships, do you think people was paired with the right people more then or now? I guess that's debatable, right? Ain't no real way to say it, but the point that I still want to try to drive home is women are going to choose what they feelings. Men will too, but it's like, nah, I like the leather jacket. I like the tattoos. He rides a motorcycle. No, he a rap. He's a rapper. He's a basketball player. Oh nah, all the other niggas bow down to him like he's the big cat on the block. So you may like that. But the father don't care about nothing like that. What's your grades? Or what type of man are you? What's your morals? What's your values? What's your principles? Who are you, darling? Who are you? before I let you go with my daughter. Then I'm going to be in the back seat while y'all together. Because you ain't going to be doing no touching. You're not going to be doing... Why is all this? Because women to choose what they like. And there's nothing wrong with choosing somebody that you think is attractive, funny, compatible, all the things that we look for in a mate. But you let your uncle, your big brother, your father vet for you at least a little bit. So they can say, I like him, but nah, I don't think he's the one for you. It's not coming from hate, because your father don't want to fuck you. He shouldn't. Your brother don't want to date you. He shouldn't. They want to protect you from another man like them. Meaning, not like them in character, but they know the inner workings and the psyche of a man. Why? Because they're a man. But when you just let you do what you want, you bring the nigga with the leather jacket on, riding the bike. Instead of a Michael B. Jordan, I'm just throwing, because it's like, why would you leave an Offset? And I get it, you left him for good reason. But why would you get with somebody so similar in another field? Dumbass, that's so fucking dumb. And if you ever watch Super Ninjas, when the master was like, Shinji, you so stupid. Talking to her like, I sent you on a mission. And you end up liking this nigga. He duped you. And you get motherfucking niggas killed because you thinking with the wrong part. Now again, men think with the wrong part too. So I'm not saying that, it's that big of a difference. But what I'm saying is, men to pop and keep it moving. And you still get some bum bitch pregnant too. There's a lot of bum, bitches pregnant. I'm using that terminology to say not quality. So therefore, the hood hurts because you got a whole bunch of low quality people having kids with each other. Then they're raising low quality kids. And then what does that do for society? That brings the quality down, because there's a whole lot of people with no emotional intelligence, can't think past go, broken homes, not healthy relationships to view and say, oh, this is what I should be modeling. I'm modeling some bullshit. And so you get with them, and basically, I knew it wasn't going to last. And I'm not happy that it didn't last. I wasn't betting my money that it wasn't going to last. But I was saying, damn, Stephon Diggs, Cardi, you can have any according to everybody, right? Because you can have anybody you want. Because you're rich, famous, your body is tea, all this dumb shit that people think is really important, and it's not. And it's not. And you say, damn, all right, well, if you got all these qualities and these attributes, and you're rich, you could get with anybody that will worship the ground of your feet. Now, most women don't want that. They don't want a nigga that's just going to be kissing ass all day. They want a nigga with some backbone, right? You don't want or people will say a beta or a simp ass nigga. They don't want that. They don't want that. It's a lot of men available, but it's like, nah, he just don't give me that feeling. You know what I mean? And what's the Love Jones line from Nia Long, right, in the movie? She was fucking with somebody else, but what Tate Diggs did, she was like, girl, the dick just talked to me. All got dickmatized, right? And now you addicted. And now you're addicted, right? Because you let him weasel his way in and he got you. And now you stuck on stupid. Now you got a baby by this nigga. Yeah, people are like, oh, now she's set for life. Set for life? How dumb does that fucking sound? Some women in the comments, he fumbled the bag. Did he really? How did he fumble the bag? How did he already fumbled his bag? His bag is going in 5, 12 different directions. So he already fumbled the bag and he's got more money. They get paid good, at least initially when you were the top of the top. And he was top of the top before the injuries and all that. How did he fumble with her? He fumbled because he got multiple women pregnant out of wedlock and he spread himself too thin, not having no dick discipline. That's how he played himself. Not because he lost her. She wasn't that big of a prize in his eyes. Got other nice looking joints that's just look good, just like her. She just happened to be famous for being a rapper. Nothing different. All his baby mothers that I seen, they're all attractive. We're not going to be a hater. Cardi's just famous on her own merit because she's a superstar rapper. That's it. That's the difference. Bodies are the same. Got kids by him. Dealing with the same nigga. And here go another line to bring the point home. 50 Cent on, what song is it? Baltimore? No, not Baltimore Love. It might be Ryder on the Massacre album. He like, these niggas in the same hood think they game so sick. Such and such, all fucking with the same old bitch. Like, how all y'all niggas think y'all game is all sick, but y'all fucking with the same bitch? You ain't got no bitch that, and I'm just, that's the lyrics of the song. And I'm quoting like that, such and such, they game so sick. Such and such in the hood dealing with the same old bitch. Basically what he's saying is, if your game is that sick, nigga, you should be having something that none of us could get. None of us even got a chance to, be in her presence, but you do. Because you got the Mac in you, or you had charisma and style. And these niggas be dealing with all type of the same joints. So you don't mean you a player more than me, because we both fucked her. You fucked her, I fucked her, he fucked her, like Big said. Just pass it around like a coal. I meet a bitch, I fuck a bitch. Next thing you know, you meet a bitch, you fuck a bitch. We just pass it around like a coal. So is our game really that slick? Did we say some shit to really woo her? Or she just was with the shits anyway, and she's a hoe? Which one is it? Is your game that slick, or is she just a hoe and she fucking everybody? Same thing with a nigga. Now, you can say the same thing with a nigga, but obviously men and women are different. So it's like, yeah, he community dick to all these bitches, but it's a little different. But why would you get with a nigga like him? Now you got a baby, another one. Now, you divorced, and now you baby father. She don't need his money. That's another thing. Women like, now she's set for life. She been set for life. If the rumors is true that she paid $1.5 million to have a Super Bowl party after they won, I'm sure she got the money. I'm hoping she got some of the money, but just think about that. Why would she don't need his money? And the last thing before we get off this topic, 2 other quick points. She not like the regular women. In this regard, she human, but she not living in the projects. She not in Harlem. She don't live in the Bronx. She can fly in maids, babysitters, all type of nannies, and she don't need for nothing. Her kids ain't gonna need for nothing. So even though it's another baby, like she said, when she wanted to put him back in my pussy, like she was saying, damage is done now. The baby's here. There's nothing you can do but take care of the baby and hopefully raise the baby to be a productive member of society, right? But she not gonna be struggling whether he's around or not. Whether he have 10 more kids by 10 other different women, she's gonna be good. She made a mistake, a grave, grave mistake, and that's why I would tell my little nieces and my little cousins, that's female, don't follow suit. Don't look up to these rappers and awe and these celebrities thinking that what they do, you could do. Because they got money, and you don't. And the chances are you're not going to hit the lottery. Chances are you're not going to run into a Russell Wilson or somebody like that to come put the cape on and fly you out of the hood. You're going to have to work, and if you have a baby in tow, it's going to fuck your life up early. That's the reality. You could know some women that's doing good. I do too. I do too. We all do. But we also know the other side. So which message are you going to push to your little cousins and them? You want them to get pregnant early by some dirtbag, gang nigga? Some nigga in and out of jail? Some nigga that got other baby mothers and wear a leather jacket? Come on now. Got braids in his hair, got tattoos all on his fucking face. That's who you want your grandbabies by? I think not. I don't. And so you have to tell them, like, nah, don't do that. You're a victim. You'll be a victim. Let's talk about this shit, though. Oh, lastly, right? I know I did wanted to say something else about this, right? This is the last thing. I know I could talk. That's why I got my own show. Pop if it's TV, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, smash that notification bell so when I upload, you get alerted. Here go the last thing, right? It's the last thing about that subject. And it goes back to the revolution, right? And why you don't get caught up in these celebrities and the shit that they be pushing, because they got agendas. They got agendas too. So Cardi B, Dominican, right? From the DR over here. I don't know if she's a legal immigrant or not, like Nicki. Who cares? I don't give a fuck. But say the rumors is true, because I'm like, damn, 1.5 million for a party? What type of party you was gonna have for 1.5 million? Maybe that's a typo, but I seen a few posts that said that, right? Didn't she say, y'all, I told y'all this shit was gonna happen with Trump, and she was on the Democratic Party side, and she like, it's gonna be fucked up out here. A lot of people is broke, but I just brought $20,000 chandeliers. This was a few months ago, right? So you say, damn, she knows shit is fucked up. She rich, and she could do what she want with her money. I'm not a man speaking on a woman money or what she could do with her money, right? She could do what she want, but I just want to add this little caveat. So if you want to spend 1.5 for your boyfriend, your baby daddy in the Super Bowl party, you could do what you want. You earned it. Do what you want with your money. Throw that shit out the window and let people go try to get it, right? But I say, damn, you know your country is poor. And I'm not saying she don't do anything. I don't know. But you could do a whole lot with that 1.5. You could change a lot of people's lives if you're just going to give it away for a party at a Super Bowl for your baby daddy. Because he don't give a fuck if you spent $1 million. You think that nigga give a fuck if you spent $1 million on a party? Then where's the love and the compassion for the people that you say you have, right? Because when you online, you know what I mean? Wreck the Jeff, what's the word? Happy Monday. When you online, it's like, yeah, because get ready. I told y'all Trump is going to do this. Woo, It's about to be fucked up out here. And a lot of celebrities is fucked up. But by the way, I just brought $20,000 chandeliers. I'm balling on you bitches. I'm balling on you niggas. Like it's balling up in Harlem, balling up in Harlem, right? But then when you do that with your money and you display it for the world to see, you say, damn, you was going to spend 1.5 at the Super Bowl for your baby daddy party? But there's people starving out here. It's the ICE people risking their lives to get over here, right? From your country, from other countries, to be over here in the American dream. Just for ICE to take them niggas back up out of here. And I'm not making fun of that, but if you get caught, that's what they're going to do. I say, damn, that's what Raekwon and Ghost said on the purple tape. 1.5. Say no names. Say yes or no. Serial numbers clean. Like 1.5 on a party? How much bottles and bitches you was going to have shaking their ass? When a lot of people could have used that money. You could have did so much. I'm not saying that she don't, but I just thought that was... told you these celebrities know they're gonna feed you whatever agenda they're rocking with. And that's on both sides. That's why I'm neither. I'm not on no side. I'm on the side of right, wrong. That's that. Cut, simple, down the line. I could speak against both parties because I have no allegiance to any of them. I'm not overzealous on no side. But them, they are. Especially the rich celebrities. Whatever side they on, they push that shit hard. In fact, they'll say you a coon and you this and you Uncle Tom, even though he's a hero in real life, not the internet. You know, people just be making up shit. They'll call you all type of shit in the book on either side. They're going to throw mud at you. And you'll be like, damn, I'm a coon because I agree with this. I'm in this because I agree with that. You'll be like, come on now. That's some bullshit. Mecca Audio, what's the word? But speaking of money, she could do what the fuck she want with her money. Speaking of money, we talked about this on our live too Saturday with Gorilla and her sister. I don't know her sister name, but she is getting more famous and famous every day. Seeing on some skit on YouTube where she was walking in some complex eating some McDonald's, and I guess the person that opened the door, I don't know his name either. He real famous. Guess he did the skit with her. You know, these online content creators and skit makers and shit. And she was like, yeah, $25, $2,500 flat. So anyway, she getting famous, but she got in the news last week or two or whatever, last couple of days for talking about her sister, Gorilla, right? Saying, yo, everything ain't good. This your little favorite darling. She's saying she be doing this and that for the family, but we still struggling and woo, and And I gave my spiel, right? Before I play the new video, because Gorilla, she responded. My take was, nobody owe nobody shit, man. Especially if you a man, ain't nobody coming to save you. I don't care if you day ones. You will hope that certain things will be expected. If no bridges was burnt, you know what I mean? Like I quoted Jada, I'd rather be broke together than rich alone, backing them down, clapping them down. Like, you know what I mean? I'm on that vibe. Like you could be rich, but if I can't bring my niggas along with me or the people I really rock with, then if I'm just sitting in the castle by myself, what the fuck good is that? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. So if the fun is down here where we all broke, I'm going to be with my niggas and be with my family and people that love me. That's just me, though. Some people are like, nah, give me that money. I'm going that way. And I ain't knocking you, right? But nobody owes you nothing, even if they're your family. Because we know that family and relatives, that's different. Relatives just your last name. Just because you grew up in the same house together, had the same struggles, as you grow older, grow into your own and find your own way on your own journey in life. You're not bonded by those things unless you're, getting it together. Like you're really working towards shit together. If you're not, then it's just like, oh, happy Thanksgiving. Oh, Christmas. I see you on, we play spades together once a year. We watch the Super Bowl. But now after those little small interactions, how's your credit? Am I helping you? Are we working on the business together? Are we getting any type of storefronts together? Are we working together as a family to get ahead? Or it's just, bring a bottle, come through every now and then, you know, celebrate your birthday. We go to Ricardo's or we go have a little dinner, and then we don't see each other for months and months and months on end till the funeral comes. So somebody is sick. Yo, auntie's sick. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, to tell auntie, I said, but you live in your life and they live in their life. You got your family, they got their family, and you're not family. You're just relatives. So nobody owes you nothing. That's my stance. Now, this is what Gorilla had to say, right? Where's the Gorilla post at? Because I guess she was on the live.
But like I said, I don't like y'all being in the public, because like I said, you gonna do stuff like go work because you still want to, so it ain't no point of, like, that's why I don't want to. My mama begging me to put statements out to take her side, and no, she don't gotta do all that. Mom, you keep doing what you want to do. You keep getting spoiled every month, and you keep working because you want to work, because you don't want to lay on your back and beg nobody for nothing.
We resigned because the girl told where we were, the hours that we were going, so we had to resign.
That's crazy.
And that's fine, because you don't got to. How many hours was you working there anyway?
2, 3.
So you going to work 2-3 hours, but she acting like you just need to go work there. I'm pretty sure that's $200 a week.
She didn't know we were working at first. And when I couldn't give her the money, I did, and I said, well, I'm working. She said,
there's a couple of slides. I ain't gonna play all the slides. Y'all can listen to it. I just wanted to give the gist. So basically, Gorilla said, yo, I'm gonna get my pops on the phone, because my sister bugging out. She just wants some clout. She mad that I ain't giving her nothing. Basically, try to make it seem like my father got to still work, my mom's got to still work. And basically, the mom, this is the joint statement, so to speak. She's like, nah, we working because we want to work. Now I say, if you rich, then your mom shouldn't have to work for money. They could, do a charity. They could do something that they love. To be still going to work at FedEx, or to be still going to do what Pops was doing, allegedly. It's not nothing wrong with that. Again, this is everybody's life, and la, 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 la. Wait till I get my mom. This is your life. You could do what the fuck you want. We all can, right? Until that clock stops ticking. But you see a lot of rich people. I'm just like athletes, people that's getting them $1 million checks, 200 million, and all people, the A1 athletes and shit. Their parents don't continue to work. They may start running a non-for-profit organization now. They may have foundations. They may do stuff to still have or add purpose to their life, but not to still just be going to work a regular job and your family is up, or your daughter or your son is up. Because what purpose do that really serve? $200 for, like she said, and again, she could that's her mom's. She could do what she want. You know what I mean? The real ammo, what's the word? Happy Monday. Why not do something for me? Why not do something for the community? And I could pay you to do that, or we could figure out how to add on to our money. We got money, but now how do we keep the money? How do we secure it? And how do we increase it? So, Ma, instead of you going to work for FedEx for 2-3 hours a day or 10 hours a week, why not do something for the kids? Why not work with these young girls? Why not do something in the neighborhood? I don't get that part. And again, maybe I won't. It's not for me to get. But it's like, kind of still looking with the side eye a little bit on, because the sister, and I don't know her name, again, I only know Gorilla, right? Sister, like, she brought our father, a car, but it ain't paid for, still making the payments. I still had to give them money, you know what I mean? But even though you hear the mom just now saying, I had to give her money, and again, everybody, family, business shouldn't be out there on the internet. Obviously, she is a celebrity. She in the public eye. So people going to be nosy. People going, peek around, see what they can find, try to get some tea, expose it, etc. So that's why, although I talk to trending topics like everybody else, put a little spin as opposed to not just be talking about it in the sense of because it's trending. It's like, you don't owe nobody nothing. If it was me and I've got, a whole lot of money, my mom's probably wouldn't be working for somebody else. She'll just be working for me. Or she'll be working in some type of, give back situation and still have a purpose. So you're not just laying on your back, like she said, getting old, your health declining, you're not doing nothing. Because the thing is, most people work, they have to, but when you have the freedom of financial freedom, now you can do other meaningful things. You don't have to go to a job every day. You can do other stuff that adds purpose and fulfillment to your life. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just going to punch the clock, get your check, pay your bills, take care of your family, you know, because you have to, because you can't do what you really want. You know what I mean? And most times. Last two quick things and we out of here. Not really sure about this shit. I seen this.
Ass
Supposed to be
job.
gyro. I don't know.
Suck ass up. You fucking suck ass job.
How they end up on the same plane, I don't know.
This way he was sitting before we got him out of here.
Now y'all know Uncle Murda and fucking Tony Ayo, they got their own podcast now. 50 Cent did just come out like, yo, you know, a lot of New York nigga rappers basically is no New York rappers. That's why New York hip hop scene has declined, because everybody's a fucking podcaster now. And I don't agree with that. I like Nas' take better. You know, if you didn't hear Nas' take as far as New York rappers and just podcasters of rappers in general, I look at it like, sports, people that play sports. When they, broadcast and they talk from a player's perspective, it's always better than somebody like myself that's just a fan or watching from afar, don't really know the X's and O's. Not to say that you can't learn the game, how to run a triangle and certain things. That's a screen, that's illegal, this and that, defenses. You can learn those things, but you ain't going to know it like a player that actually played at the highest level. So Nas basically like, yeah, I'd rather hear from somebody that know what it's like to be on stage. I know what it's like to write an album in the studio, classic or not. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to have a deadline and be able to do certain things that is done in the music business. So I like that perspective better, although I do get 50 Cent and other people, because he's not original or unique in his idea that, a lot of your faves, they turned to podcasting. Hip-hop is dead. It's been dead for a little while now. You know what I mean? Even though Nas said it damn near 15, whenever that Hip Hop Is Dead album came out, obviously we still had some classics, so I'm glad people still, putting on for the art. But in the overall sense, in the purest sense, them days is gone, right? Not sure what the beef is still. I mean, these niggas is old. Maybe it's good publicity for their podcast. Haven't seen an episode yet. I don't know when it dropped or when will it drop. But it's like, what y'all here for Tony Ayo and Uncle Murda podcast? I know Joe and Jada is doing good. Obviously, Joe Buttons is still probably the king. Then you got Nori with Draft. I was about to say DraftKings with Drink Champs, etc. Got off the plane. It ain't like y'all gonna fight on the plane and security. I mean, he without security, y'all without security. It looked like they was flying regular too. So I don't know. I thought that was crazy. But the last shit we're gonna talk about, speaking about hip hop, is the J. Cole album. So I had a chance to listen to it twice now, right? Yes, Detroit won. Play of the day. We had Detroit as the play of the day. Now we are 7-1 in our last 8 plays of the day. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, kid, that feeling of winning. Anyway, I opened that up, my bad. Opened up CBS Sports app to check the scores. Anyway, the J. Cole's album, when I did my show Saturday, I had listened to the album only once, so I didn't really give my critiques or what I thought. Since then, I've listened to it another time, and it's a long album. If you don't know, if you've been under a rock, he dropped Friday night, 12 o'clock, had the world buzzing, after those, birthday freestyles, the Blizzard freestyles, etc. on DJ Clue. And the album is a fire album. To me, the overall album is 22 songs, even though it's like a skit or an intro, so maybe like 19 songs. Scale 1 to 10, solid 8.5, solid. You know what I mean? To me, it is some songs that I prefer over the others. But although he get a lot of hate, I thought he was spot on with the album, and that's game. And he gave me a different perspective now, because you got to listen to, for me, I'm from the old school era. I gotta call myself old school now. Where you went to the store to look at the credits, look at the back of the album. You drove around or you rocked out to an album for a little while to soak up the vibes. Now we in the swipe left, swipe right. You streaming your music, so you really got playlists. Take your favorite songs like a mixtape and you rocking out. So you got various artists on one playlist. It's not just one whole artist, or people don't even really consume albums like that no more. You know what I'm saying? It's another reason why the music is declining. One, they're not making no good music. But two, that's part of the reason. The way we consume music is drastically different from yesteryear. With that being said, Game said, I brought him up because one, I like his commentary. But two, a lot of people don't like him for whatever reason, as a person, as an artist. The internet is undefeated. They're going to pick and choose who they fuck with. But he said, first, when I listen to albums, I listen to it as a fan. So I'm like, all right. I think we all do. Then he like, two, I listen to it as a hater. And I'm like, interesting. He like to see where I could poke holes in the album at. See where a hater may say, oh, that's not it, right? As opposed to just being a fanboy. Then he like the third time that I listen to it as a peer, as a contemporary, as somebody that got classic albums under the belt. Somebody that's know what it's like to put a real project together with synergy, concepts and stuff like that. And he has, all the, validity in the world when it comes to that because he's speaking facts. As far as, glad my slipper didn't fall. Y'all seen that, right? My cozy souls. Glad that shit didn't knock over shit. Ooh, I got a lot of shit there. My cozy souls, my cozy souls, my cozy souls, so fresh. All the cozy souls are sold out, by the way. We was a nice little run. Anyway, I'm glad that shit didn't knock everything over. But he knows what he's talking about as far as the artist. Definitely super nice lyrically, right? Not just a West Coast artist. But I said, oh shit, this is an ill way to listen to the album because you hear things differently when you keep going. But I listened to it twice now. Ain't really no fast forwards, but it is maybe like 3 songs and I'm like, it's lesser than the other ones. But overall, solid project. He dressed everything. Definitely got some sound like a One Love song with Nas. It sound like it got an Eminem type song. I don't know all of the names, and I won't even go look at it, to tell you what names. You go listen to the album for yourself. But a good, solid project after not being counted out, because when you go from being top 3 to not mention it all, to your Bodyguards verse, Uchiwali verse is better than yours. Like, you know what I mean? People was, and I was one of them, to say, not so much fall out of the top 3, but because he is better than a lot of niggas. Some of your faves of today. He's way better than them. And as I say, like when the real rappers, the Jadas, the Hoes, the Bigs, the T.I.s, the Big Puns, the Black Dogs, the Coogee Raps, the Big Daddy Kanes, KRS-One, the list could go on and on and on. When the bubblegum rappers come around, it's like y'all niggas don't even think about rapping. Don't even think about picking up a mic around Nas, around T.I., around Lil Wayne, people that's animals and beasts at this shit, because you can tell the difference between a melody, hook songwriter nigga and a nigga that got bars and intellect and lyrical ability and flows and all of that in abundance. J. Cole's one of them. So whether you think he fell out of the top 3 or not, but what I like is that fire project in the sense of mad songs. One, it's hard to even put that many songs out. And all of them to be super fire, you know what I mean? Or damn near super fire. Something to listen to, something to rock with. The last Fire album that I really, really like him to rocking was on Raekwon album, The Emperor's New Clothes. So if you ain't hear that, that's a great listen. The Nas and Primo album, and I'm a great big Nas fan as well as Primo. It was so-so. Scale 1 to 10, it's like a 6.5. So it was alright, you know what I'm saying? That's what I got for y'all tonight. It's a lot of shit else spinning, but I got shit to do. So y'all know who it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up and here. One more again. Yeah, kid. Start the week off good. Be safe out there.